Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's 5 o'clock, and I'd like to welcome you all to the regularly scheduled meeting. It says it's spring out there, but I rather doubt it. But in any case, thank you all for coming out tonight. The first order of business is additions to the agenda. I have not been informed of any, so there are none to announce. So that being said, I need a motion from council to approve and a seconder for the acceptance of the agenda. Okay. Councillor Heeman and seconded by Councillor Lockie. All in favor? Motion carries. The next thing is the disclosure of pecuniary interest from the members of council. None. Okay. So,
Tom's got his hand up.
Tom, sorry. I'll have to try and keep an eye on you.
I'm a tricky one. I'd like to declare a pecuniary interest to item 6.1 as the business as which I'm employed at is engaged in sales with the Oxford Renaissance Fairs.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? No? All right. Seeing none then, I do have a few announcements. First and foremost, I'm going to announce the meetings because we will be going into closed session so that you know what's coming up. So our next regularly scheduled meeting of the council will be Monday, April the 28th at 5 p.m. back in Dorchester, followed by another one at Monday, May the 12th, also at 5 p.m. in Dorchester at the council chambers. Just so that the folks in Thorndale know, the municipality had applied for an industrial drain project as a loan from the county, and that was approved at the last meeting. So that work will go on and more to follow. Also, just thought I'd let you know that the first meeting of the Thorndale, this community center, the possibility of an expansion, that ad hoc meeting is coming up on May the 8th. And then also we will be holding a trails master plan for input from the community also it may, and that is the same date. Councillor Lockie has a few announcements as well.
Yeah, thank you, Your Worship. So as chair as the Environmental Advisory Committee, I just wanted to mention that April the 22nd is Earth Day, and it is a great time to recognize the importance of being kind to our planet, and it's also an excellent time to do something good for the planet. So this Saturday, I'm organizing a community-wide cleanup of the river and the parklands here in Thorndale. We will meet at the dog park at 8:45. Also, the Mill Pond Committee is going to be meeting at the Dream Park in Dorchester at 8 o'clock in the morning to do an invasive species removal. And both of the events are part of the 26th annual Thames River cleanup. So that means that anybody that helps out can be part of the draw for the Novacraft canoe. Also, with our annual waste collection coming up, please consider, giving away things. There's a Buy Nothing Facebook page, or take that broken lamp or bicycle to the Repair Cafe in Dorchester on April 30th, and maybe give those items a second chance in life. I also wanted to mention that the Ward 2 Town Hall meeting is Tuesday, April the 15th at the Lions Den. And this is a great opportunity for community members to come and talk to me about things that concern you or just things that you may want to share with me.
Thank you, Councillor Lockie. I'd like to call on our fire chief, Nick Dorkin.
Thank you. I'll turn it on.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Happy to be here this evening, and I've got with me Deputy District Chief Robert Koonsland. Training Officer Rob Wakeham, firefighters Mike Olds and Colin Darling with me as well. And if for anybody coming in the front doors, you may have seen the fire truck parked in the fire route. Yes, we are allowed to park there. We just had our new rescue truck delivered last week, and we thought we would bring it along to the meeting because it's nice and shiny still. And I'd like to thank all my firefighters for being here with me, and we would like to thank Mayor and Council for the great addition to our fleet.
Okay, thank you for
Thank
your
you.
attendance there. So people are welcome to have a look.
We'll only be here for about another minute. And then,
Oh.
yeah, these guys
So in
have
other
got
words,
training.
we missed our chance, right?
That's right. Yeah, come to the breakfast actually on May 25th,
May 25th?
7th. Something like that. Last Sunday in May.
Okay.
Yes, and
You'll
we'll
just
have it out.
to remind us.
That's right. Thanks very much.
All right, thank you, Chief. So next on our agenda is a presentation by the Oxford Renaissance Festival. So if you'd like to come forward.
My name is Greg Sherman. This is Paul Rivard, and just wanted to thank council for letting us, giving us the opportunity to present today. Just give you a little bit of information of who we are and what we do. But the Oxford Renaissance Festival, which now fits under the umbrella of fairs.ca, we started with one festival years ago at the Woodstock Fairgrounds in 2013. And then we moved to Dorchester Fairgrounds in 2016. And then we had to shut down for a few years because of COVID. But during that time, actually, what had happened was it shut down a lot of festivals. A lot of festivals went into some financial problems. And luckily enough, in 2021, when we reopened, we experienced a huge boom in the Dorchester Fairgrounds. And fast forward to today, we have 7 festivals throughout Ontario, from Ottawa to Amherstburg. And last year here at the fairgrounds, at the community center, our first year in Thorndale, we had our biggest event ever, and we brought in just under 11,000 people, with this year's expectation to be in the 13,000s. Thorndale stores and residents got huge benefits, not only in the community, but a unique event out their back door, but also a big boost to local businesses. Thorndale also received a ton of exposure from people that probably have never been to Thorndale before, because we get visitors from Toronto and all over the place to see the beautiful town of Thorndale. We also would like to, we also received a lot of community support from Councillor Tom Heeman, actually, who introduced us to Pat Elliott from Elliott Grain, who generously donated his field for the parking lot for the event. So we bussed in people because there just wasn't any parking available for that. But we also so appreciate the support. We also got great support from the wholesale lift trucks, which helped us move our heavy gates. And this year we've been approached already by other local businesses on how they can help us for this year. Is this one yours? Good. No, actually. Yeah, it's okay. If you've never been to the Oxford Renaissance Festival before, or Renaissance Festival at all, you know, we have like Full Metal Jousting, Birds of Prey, lots of comedy, lots of music, Celtic music and so forth. But it's just a really unique event for families and people of all ages. We also have over hundreds of vendors that are very unique to the medieval sector and fantasy, and they make over 90% of their wares. So I'll let you continue on.
Okay, thank you very much. Your worship and council, thank you very much for the opportunity. It's very exciting to be here in town, presenting and hosting an event of this nature. It has been going for at minimum 10 years. And everywhere we go, we make a great economic impact on the community, not just here, but even outside the area. I know myself personally, I spent a lot of time at Sassy's during the festival last year, ordering pizzas for all of the volunteers. But with the numbers that we could get from the tourism and a lot of support from, a lot of the tourism sector and the associations, the Festival Events Ontario had awarded us to be one of the top 100 festivals in Ontario, which we're very proud for. Like I said, the economic growth, it does make a huge impact, hopefully in this community. If there's, more hotels or camping areas, it would be good to know because a lot of people do come from outside the 40-kilometer range. And we are looking forward to, yes, thank you very much. We do support also local charities. Some of them is the Ronald McDonald House that we like to, because some of the money that we get in from the parking and other areas that goes back into the Ronald McDonald House or Tim Hortons camps, things that are youth oriented. Again, we are a family festival. And that's what we like to bring in because it's affordable and it's a lot of fun. Whether you're into jousting and all of that crazy stuff, it is definitely a lot of fun no matter what. But please do, if you do come dress up, you'll feel right in place. Yeah. So the last part is this, looking forward to doing this again this year and happy to see any of your faces. Out at the event, please visit me as I run all the gates at the front entrance. And Greg, you won't see him anywhere. He kind of goes hidden. He drives around with his,
That's because I'm putting out a lot of fires, actually.
You don't want, you just don't want to advertise that you're the man or else, right? So, but
We'll do the video.
yeah, so we're going to do a video now and thank you for your time. And looking forward to our contracts and things being looked after. Thank you.
Thanks for the presentation. Did I miss it or did you tell us a date?
Oh, sorry. Yes, right.
I believe it's September 26th to 28th.
Yeah, because we do an education day as well, where we invite the schools on the Friday. And then Saturday, Sunday is the main festival days as well. So
Okay.
26, 27, 28.
Good, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you want to do questions now if you have any?
Oh, yeah. Any questions?
Certainly, we can do that before the videos. Is there anyone with questions?
I just wanted to add to our new program this year is that for all our festivals, for our education day, if there's any schools or children that have financial difficulties,
Right.
then we've also created a new program where they can get in for either reduced cost or at no charge at all.
Are the
So-
schools notified about that?
Oh, yeah,
The
absolutely.
local schools?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right,
Yep.
that's good then. All right, well, if we're ready for the video,
Any questions? No?
doesn't appear that there are any questions. So you must have done a really good job.
Information on the website.
Okay, thank you very much. Good luck with the festival. So we have a couple of grant presentations to make. I'm going to come forward here and the clerk will read out the names.
So we're going to start with the Thorndale Horticultural Society. From there, we have Carolyn Noble, Mary Love, sorry, I can't quite read this, sorry. Mary Lou Bonche, Nancy Abra, and Danny, I missed the, Depressed, sorry. Oh, and Jennifer Progressa? Progressa. Yes. You guys need to come up this, you have to come up front to be able to see. Up here. You have to make him up here. Oh, yeah. You all in the picture? Yes. Come on. And next up, we have the Thorndale Lions Club. Matt Adams will be accepting it.
A few other guys.
Oh, sorry.
Bill McDonald and Ray Chown.
So we also have Ray Chowan and Bill McDonald.
Congratulations, everyone.
We've got one more, Councillor Heeman. So from the Thorndale Agricultural Society, Bridget Heeman, Ian Ferguson, Matt Little, and maybe Edley? No Edley.
Moving on then to item number 7 on your agenda, which is the approval of the previous minutes. The motion is that the minutes of the regular meeting of council held on March 24th, 2025 be approved as circulated. A mover and a seconder, Deputy Mayor Smybert and Councillor Crockett. All in favor? That motion passes. Thank you. Item number 8, items listed under the consent agenda are received for information in one motion. Council members may request that one or more items be separated for further action. The motion before us is that consent agenda items 8.1 through 8.3 be received for information. A mover and a seconder. Deputy Mayor Smybert and Councillor Lockie. All in favor? Thanks. That passes as well. And item number 9 is reports of departments. 9.1, the departmental 2025 first quarter reports. It's from the Municipality of Thames Centre first quarter highlights, drainage, environmental services, transportation, recreation, active living center, legislative services, building, planning, and fire. Unless there are any questions from council, Deputy Mayor Smybert. You have to give it a good tug.
It just feels like I repped something. This question is for community services. There was one report, it had, I'm just going to pull it up here, it had different totals, but didn't total up the number of days. I'm just going to pull it up here. And maybe it's under ICE KPIs. So maybe I'm just reading it wrong. I just need some clarification. So I see that you've got available days of 30 at the APC rink, 30 days at the Canusa rink for a total of 30. Should that have been cumulative to add up to 60?
Sorry, is this on? Okay. No, it's still a total of 30 days for the 2 facilities. So I know that looks kind of strange, but it's taking still to get the utilization percentage. It's not, if you did 60 days, it would screw everything up. So.
That it?
I
Any
had
other
another
questions?
question as it relates to the draft plan extension requests. And I had a conversation with the director before the meeting. So, because I just want to understand, I guess, the process that we're going to follow on a go forward basis. So I know that the applicant would make a request, I think, through the county because they're the approval authority. And then I'm assuming that there's a review process that happens internally with staff. And then you're bringing this to our attention just to see if we have any comments or concerns before then you provide that information to the county. Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. And then I guess as part of that review, are we making sure that, because sometimes these plans of subdivisions can last several years, are we ensuring that any conditions of subdivision are updated in accordance with new legislation or requirements?
Yes, so the municipality has an opportunity to review those conditions once they receive that request from the county and circulate to staff if they have any concerns or comments. And it's typically a 3-year extension request for most subdivision or condominium approvals.
Okay, thank you. That's helpful. And just one other question or observation, and maybe it's just because I know we've had some changes in finance. So finance isn't on this agenda. So is that something that's going to be brought forward at a later date?
Through you, Mayor, to Deputy Mayor. So finance will be presenting our unaudited statements in May. We are doing our year ends throughout the month of April, and we should be prepared with an unaudited statement. Most likely the first council meeting in May.
Okay, great. Thank you. That's it.
Through the mayor, subsequent to that, typically the finance division has started their quarterly reports Q2 because of the year end the year prior. So you will see financial updates Q2 on a go forward basis as well. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm sorry, Councillor Crockett.
Thank you. I really only have one question, then just a couple comments. My first question, Director McDonald, was that with the new extension on the Flight Exec Center, this active living center has been extremely busy, but it still seems as though there's a lot of opportunity for the room utilization in the new areas. I was just wondering if there's going to be any planned promotion or any push to see more, or I guess less vacancy in the rooms.
Yes, through the mayor. We've got a couple of things in the works there. We're going to have some more staffing power to help with the active living center. So we'll be able to focus more hours on expanding active living center activities, not only in the new facility, but also here in Thorndale. So that's going to be a big positive. But those things tend to be the daytime hours, and where the opportunity really lies is on mostly evenings and a bit on weekends. We are picking up with people are now aware of the weekend opportunities there. So it is getting a lot busier on weekends, but still some room there. But definitely the weeknights, there's the opportunity to do some more advertising and promotion to just make people aware of that.
Awesome, thank you. And then just my comments were going to be in regards to the planning open house next Monday. If you have any questions, that will be taking place. And then also on transportation, there will be a road safety open house announced for later in the spring.
Thank you, Councillor Carcliffe. Any other questions, comments from council? All right, seeing none, then a mover and a seconder that the departmental quarterly reports for the first quarter of 2025 be received for information. Tom Heeman, mover, seconder, Councillor Lockie. All in favor? That carries. Thank you. Okay, the next item is the Planning Division 2024 Annual Report. Again, there is no one specifically presenting, but if council has any questions at all, you can ask them now. Deputy Mayor?
Just a question with respect to the official plan amendments. I know that it looks as if we haven't had any for 2024. And I'm thinking that could likely be because of the, I guess, the ongoing kind of approval process or yet to be approved. Can you just provide council with an update on where our latest official plan amendment is at?
Thank you. Through you, Your Worship, and Deputy Mayor Smybert, we are still under appeal for the OPA 27. We're looking through legal to get further update on that and hopefully move forward with having that OP come into force and effect. But still, at this point, we've been adjourned through the OLT. That a meeting date, was adjourned, and that we don't have a date at this time. So awaiting a date through the OLT at this time. And yeah, it's not to say that we haven't had inquiries for OP amendments, but based on the appeals to through the OLT, it would contradict the proposed OP through those applications. So there's still in motion applications and inquiries coming through, just awaiting that timeline to apply formally.
Thank you, Amanda. Anything else from the members of council? Okay. Then a mover and a seconder that the Planning 2024 Annual Report be received for information. Deputy Mayor Smybert and Councillor Lockie, all in favor? Thank you, that carries. Next item, the Wilkie Drain petition for drainage works, and I'll call on our Superintendent, Travis Pitt.
Thank you, Your Worship. Good evening, councillors. We've received recently several requests for new drainage works to a petition that is already active, known as the Wilkie Drain. This job has been actually put on hold as the engineer appointed had stated that this was not a valid petition under the Drainage Act without further petitions to allow this to continue. So other owners inside the watershed have decided they do want the drain project to continue and have made their requests. Just note that it is the engineer's job to determine the validity of a petition. I believe this will likely check the box, but we will not know for sure until it's been presented to the engineer. And I'll stop there and answer any questions you might have.
Thanks, Travis. Any questions at all on this particular matter for the superintendent? Councillor Crockett.
Thank you, Mayor. You somewhat answered my question, but I was just curious whether there is a threshold of properties to sign on that would encourage the engineer to take this on.
Yes, through your worship, a petition becomes valid. There's 4 ways a petition can be valid. Really, this one has about 2 that impact it. One of those ways is 50% of the owners inside the watershed are in favor of the drainage system, or 60% of the hectarage in the watershed are in favor of the drainage system. The other 2 being either the minister decides that the drainage works will go through, or a road authority has the power to push a drain through.
Thanks. That answers your question then, Councillor Crockett. All right. Any other questions? Okay. Seeing none then, the motion before you, that report number PWDR 003-25 of the Drainage Superintendent dated April the 7th, 2025, concerning requests received by 6 properties for requests for new drainage works be received for information, and that the petitions submitted by 6 properties under Section 4 of the Drainage Act, RSO 1990, for new drainage works in relation to properties located inside concession 5-6, lot 2122, former township of West Missouri, be adopted, and that Mr. M.P. DeVos of Spreed Associates be appointed the engineer to investigate and prepare the necessary drainage report. A mover and a seconder, please. Councillor Heeman and Deputy Mayor Smybert, all in favor? Good, that carries. Thank you. Right. The next item is the land acquisition, 9.13 acres north of Eva Street and south of Iowa. And we'll ask Mr. DeMello to report.
Thank you, Mayor. So this report is to provide council with the financial strategy related to the property referenced as Eva and Ida Street. Just as you may recall, this parcel that we identified for purchase was subject to an independent appraisal from Valco Real Estate Appraisers and Consultants. And if you look at the second page of the report, there's our funding strategy, where the land acquisition cost was approximately 2.3 million. And then we already applied the revenue from our Parkland Dedication Reserve and our 2024 and 2025 capital infrastructure levy went towards the purchase, and also the vendor provided with a 330,000 donation for the property. It left with a subtotal of approximately 791,000, and we are funding this with this tax stabilization reserve with full intention to replenish the tax stabilization reserve as the capital infrastructure levy revenues will be received in 2026 and 2027.
Thank you. Any questions from members of council? Councillor Lockie.
Yeah, through your worship. With regards to the Parkland Dedication Reserve, is there anything remaining then, or does this use the full amount?
Through you, Mayor, to the councillor, the full amount was applied for this property acquisition.
Okay. Great. Anything further? No? All right, then. In this particular case, then we'll ask for a motion to receive the report for information. A mover and a seconder, please. Councillor Crockett and Councillor Lockie, all in favor? That motion passes. Well, turn to Director of Corporate Services again. for the KPMG audit plan.
Thank you, Mayor. And to councillors, just so your awareness, we do have on the line our KPMG representatives, Emily, oh, there they are, Emily Pellerin and Katie Denbach. And thank you for joining us, ladies. And just a brief summary of the 2024 KPMG audit plan. You receive this annually, and the auditor sets out the work plan for the audit. If you recall, professional audit standards requires that the auditor discuss the views of fraud risk for those who are charged with governance, which is you. I did send you an email with some drafted comments and opinions on your risk assessment related to fraud. And I did send that to the auditors. And also, they're going to be applying a new standard, PS 3400, which are revenue streams of not typically the tax or grant transfers from senior levels of government, but PS 3400 standard captures revenue streams like water bills, stormwater management fees, rental of the community center. So those types of revenues is going to receive special attention this audit because it's new. And we will be engaging with KPMG on how they'd like to manage that process. And that's all I have, unless the representatives, I can turn it to them.
Does anyone have anything they'd like to add? And then I'll turn it over to questions from council. No, nothing?
Sure, I can just, sorry, representatives as in us, are you looking for
Oh,
comments?
yes, I'm sorry.
Okay, sorry, just wanted to make sure. I just wanted to thank you for having us here this evening. Both Emily and myself are looking forward to working with the municipality. We have provided some comprehensive information in our audit plan and are certainly happy to answer questions that anyone has.
Thank you very much. So any questions from the members of council? Can I turn to Councillor Lockie?
I'll go last, Your Worship.
You'll go last? Okay. Deputy Mayor?
Yep. So just a couple questions on the key milestones and deliverables. It makes mention of providing the results to audit committee. Was it the intention of having a separate committee, or was that meant to provide those results directly to council?
Thank you for the question. That would be directly to council. Every organization is different with respect to the committees that we report up through. And in your case, it would be direct to council. Thank you.
Thank you. And just one other question. With respect to the financial implications, it does talk about additional one-time fee that there may be. Do we know for certain at this point whether there'll be an extra fee? And then approximately what are we looking at?
So at this,
yeah,
sorry, please go ahead.
Thank you, Mayor. To the Deputy Mayor, I did ask that question of the auditors. I did receive an estimate. Thank you, ladies. The one-time costs are anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 was an estimate, but because it's our first year with the audit firm and given the new standards, it could be slightly more. I'll turn it over to Katie if you have any additional comments.
Okay. I don't believe she has any comments from what I'm seeing here. So, Councillor Lockie, have you got some questions?
Sure. Yeah, thank you. Through Your Worship. So with April to July, it is kind of a long period. How much time do you plan to be on site, and how much notice do you plan to give the staff when you'll be on site?
So we've already had conversations with management around the timing of on-site field work, which for this year is scheduled to be 3 weeks of on-site, I believe. And that's based obviously on the estimated number of hours that we feel it will take to complete the engagement. It is always a little bit trickier in the first year of an audit as we're working through gaining and documenting our understanding of processes and whatnot. But that is what's expected at this point in time. And we do have a timeline that we've agreed upon already with management.
And my next question is about sampling. So what percentage will you be sampling and how will you be generating the samples?
So our audit methodology uses a substantive sampling tool. So it's called monetary unit sampling. So it's not based on a specific percentage, but it takes the population that is subject to sampling, runs it through a sampling tool, and then provides us the statistical the specific items that need to be sampled within a population. So it's not necessarily based on a certain percentage coverage. It's rather based on the actual transactions within a population, if that makes sense.
And then just my other question too is, will you be doing an assessment of the adequacy of our internal controls? And also, will you be reviewing our procurement practices, such as like selection of consultants and getting quotes?
With respect to the policies and the financial controls, so we are required to have an understanding of the controls over the financial processes and the controls, the higher entity level controls within the municipality itself. So we will be gaining an understanding and performing walkthroughs of all of those processes. With respect to procurement specifically, the way that our audit is currently planned is to take a more or less fully substantive approach, meaning not necessarily relying on the controls within the municipality, albeit we do have to gain an understanding of those controls, and procurement would form part of that understanding as well. So certainly if we come across any control deficiencies or areas of improvement through our walkthroughs and other processes, we would bring those forward in our audit findings report.
Thank you. That's the questions I have.
Thank you. And I think our director has another comment.
Thank you, Mayor. Just on management controls, it is common in smaller entities that there is a greater risk of management overriding internal controls. I anticipate receiving some type of commentary related to that. It is a risk. I've experienced it in other organizations, similar types of risk, and it's how we try and mitigate those internal controls. But I fully expect there will be some type of recommendation or good, helpful hints from KPMG related to internal controls.
Okay. Thank you very much. Any other questions or comments from before we move on to the motion? All right, seeing none, a mover and a seconder that report number CS-004-25 be received for information and feedback. Councillor Heeman and seconded by Deputy Mayor Smybert. All in favor? That carries. Thanks very much. Great. The next item, 9.6, CS-005-25, sale of properties in tax arrears. I'm going to ask the Director of Corporate Services to present.
Thank you again, Mayor. This report is awareness and to inform you as a council that we have commenced the process of collecting taxes on specific identified properties. And if we're not successful in the collection of the taxes, that we would initiate a municipal tax sale on these properties. We did an overall review of tax properties in arrears, and I would bring to your attention, we do have 3 properties in tax arrears, totaling approximately $371,000. So you do have a substantial policy guiding staff on how to proceed. I'll just highlight some of the steps that we would do to show you our due diligence on collecting taxes. We would first send these properties a statement of unpaid taxes, and we would send it to the via registered mail to the last known address we have on file. We would then attempt to make a telephone call and trying to make a verbal communication of tax arrears. If not, if we haven't received any response, then we send a personalized letter, and that's from our tax collector, our deputy treasurer, who will send it again via registered letter. In the event we still don't receive a response or a satisfactory response, then we would actually issue a tax arrear certificate. And pending no response on that, we would actually engage with legal counsel and place the properties on sale, for sale. Just wanted to bring that awareness to your attention.
All right, thank you very much. So I'll turn it over then to council with any questions, but just with the proviso of nothing, no specific particular problem, this property, this would be general questions. Deputy Mayor Smiber.
Great, thank you for that report. I didn't see any mention of a consultant. Do we use consultant, Real Tax, to help us with the process in case we need to do a tax sale?
Thank you. Through you, Mayor, to the Deputy Mayor. That is correct. However, staff have advised me they've used that firm in the past and hasn't had much success on these properties. So we're gonna try a different approach and with more of a legal counsel approach.
Councillor Lockie.
Yeah, through your worship. So these are all like greater than 100,000. Are there any other properties that have arrears greater than $50,000 that aren't on this list?
Through you, Mayor, to the councillor. So when we ran our reports, I think the next threshold is 40,000. We do have about a dozen properties over the $40,000 threshold.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other questions? Okay, seeing none, then I would ask for a mover and a seconder that report number CS-005-25 be received for information. Councillor Crockett and Councillor Lockie, all in favor? That carries. Thank you. All right, we turn it over to the Director of Legislative Services to present the next item, LS-005-25, Delegations of Power and Duties Update.
Thank you. This is just an update to the bylaw that we had passed earlier. There is no new additions. There's just some updates to titles and one area that was forgotten when I put it forward the previous time. So I don't know if you have any questions. Otherwise everything else was delegated from you guys previously through individual resolutions.
Okay, Council, any questions or comments regarding this? All right, I don't see any. No, Tom? Okay, then I'll ask for a mover and a seconder that report number LS-005-25 be received for information and that council approve. Okay. Just checking. And that council approve the attached draft delegation of powers and duties chart is Appendix A, and that the implementing bylaw be considered as included in the bylaw portion of the agenda. Mover and seconder. Councillor Heeman and Deputy Mayor Smyberg, all in favor? That carries. Thanks very much. When we move on to item number 10, reports of committees. Items listed under the reports of committees are approved by council in one motion. Council members may request that one more items be separated for further action. So unless there are any items to be pulled, then we'll be looking that agenda item 10.1 be approved as presented. Councillor Lockie is seconding and Deputy Mayor Smyber. I'm moving and seconding, sorry. All in favor? That carries, thank you. Now excuse me. No. My apologies. So as far as the mayor's report, I'm pleased to report my activity since my last report, only it's a little bit lighter report this month. Over the month of March, I attended one meeting of Thames Centre Council, the other one being cancelled due to a very light agenda, one meeting of the Library Advisory Board for Middlesex County, 2 meetings of the Middlesex County Council, including passing of the 2025 budget for the county, a strategic planning session also at the County of Middlesex, one meeting of SCORE, which is the South Central Ontario Regional Economic Development, one meeting of the Kettle Creek Conservation Authority, and one meeting of the County Planning Advisory Council, where we are beginning the process of aligning the county to the new provincial planning statement. I also had meetings with some of our residents and members of the Thames Centre business community, primarily in the area of development. We also had the pleasure to make some check presentations on behalf of the municipality to the LDSS robotics program and an opportunity to speak with some great teenagers there and their teachers. These kids are pretty amazing kids. And also one presentation at the West Missouri Manor in Thorndale. So don't believe we have any items of unfinished business, but we do have motions notice of motion from Councillor Heeman. If you'd like to say anything about this, Councillor Heeman, it's item 13.1 on your agenda.
Yes, this is something that's come to my attention multiple times throughout this term of council. It's the potential requirement for a crosswalk at Richmond Street and Catherine Street in the village of Dorchester. We have 2 schools, 2 churches, and the Optimist Club Hall in this area. And generally, people coming or walking from the south side of town will have to cross the street at this point in order to get to school. And there's been concerns over near misses in the recent past. And with the potential development north of the river, I think this will become an increasing point of conflict. Likewise, we did put the walking strip along Richmond Road a couple of years ago. So I'd like to request, with the support of our county councillors, that we have the county look into the feasibility of implementing a crosswalk, starting with a traffic study. I think that it may be a long road to getting a crosswalk, but we need to do our due diligence first, and things may change over time. But I think it behooves us to study this issue at this point in time.
Thanks, Councillor Heeman. So the motion before us is that Thames Centre Council requests Middlesex County to conduct a traffic study to assess the need for a pedestrian crosswalk at Catherine Street and Richmond Street in Dorchester due to the close proximity of the 2 schools, a church and a conservation area, and the Optimist Club. So are there any questions, comments? A mover and a we have a mover, so we have a seconder for the motion. Deputy Mayor Smybert. All in favor? Okay, that passes. Then moving on again, Councillor Heeman, to your second motion.
Thank you. So this motion came out of the overwhelming comments from the Ward 1 mini town hall. I think there's a lot of concerns about speeding through the center of town here. We did get staff to study it in the center of town. But what the concern is that the transition from the 80 to a 50 ideally could start a little bit earlier, because the 50 transition starts right at the residential boundary of the Monteith subdivision. And if we could get traffic to slow down before they get into the residential area, then that would be an added savings for that neighborhood, but ideally slows traffic down before they hit the center of town also. So this is the approach that we have on our own roads on Fairview, both coming north, and then as this council will recall, we extended this boundary coming south on Fairview, and largely in line with the planned develop or the ongoing development in that area. And as we have a stoplight intersection at the west end of town, there is there is this gradual phase in. So we're looking for consistency and conformity, and again a phased in approach to reducing speed before we enter our villages.
Thanks, Councillor Heeman. Any, then a seconder for the motion? Deputy Mayor Smyberg, all in favor? Okay, that carries. Thank you. Thanks, Councillor Heeman. No new business, so a mover and a seconder that bylaws 26-2025 and 27-2025 be read a first, second, and third and final time and be adopted. So first, Deputy Mayor Smyberg and Councillor Crockett, all in favor? Then a second, third time. That's it. We're done. All right. I guess we're good on that one. Thank you. All right. Council will now be moving into closed session for which there will be no live streaming. The live stream will resume once the closed session portion has been completed. So a mover and a seconder that we move into closed session at 5:57 p.m. and we will take about a 10-minute break before that. Deputy Mayor Smyberg and Councillor Crockett, all in favor?